Coming up, local Memphian Dr. George Flynn is making headlines with his creative and controversial campaign videos.
And also, St. Jude celebrates their annual Survivors Day. Stay with us. Good morning and welcome to Insight News. I'm Greg Williams.
And I'm Joshua Bolden. Thank you for joining us. He's running for Congress, but he's had a tad bit of controversy surrounding his campaign. Dr. George Flynn had a surprise when Memphis rapper Al Capone posted a YouTube video online earlier this month in which University of Memphis coach Josh Pashner can be seen wearing a pink lei. Pashner has denied any political endorsement of Flynn. Flynn has also taken heat from Councilwoman Janice Fullilove. Fullilove believes the rap endorsements are portraying her in a bad light and has threatened legal action. Flynn says although he is grateful for the gift that Al Capone has given him via song, he nor his campaign knew of it in advance.
Art, music, and crafts are showcased annually in downtown Memphis. Local artists and photographers gathered to showcase their talent. Insight's BreAnna has more on this story.
Located in the heart downtown Memphis' South Main Historic Arts District, River Arts Festival 2012 is a 3-day street celebration of the visual, performing, and culinary arts. I'm here at the River Arts Festival 2012 and I'm featuring art, craft, and festivals for each different artist.
Right here you can see extended exposure photography. It gets, technical heavy, but basically it comes out to light being exposed over time.
Tickets were available at different entry points, and food and beverages tickets were also available.
We're here today representing Hungry Fire Workshop, which is a local Memphis creative studio. We really want to build the art scene in Memphis, and so the artist, Gina Barziza, he has used his photography found objects to create a very vibrant, positive series that we're showing here today to our community.
This piece was actually made up stuff. Basically, I found the canvas and made it a very new melancholy kind of stage, all kinds of things.
I've been doing it for about 2 years, and it's just kind of creativity and having a chance to let go of it. And it's just kind of exploded all over my campus.
River Arts Festival is fabulous. So many artists, both local and national, come together. Really so many different types of art.
There were many professional artists and photographers that came out to display their artwork. I'm BreAnna reporting for Insight News, downtown Memphis.
The Memphis Grizzlies are adding some star power to the owner's box. The Grizz added the likes of Peyton Manning, Justin Timberlake, and Anthony Penny Hardaway as new minority owners of the team. The group of owners was put together by new majority owner Robert Parra, who agreed to buy the team from Michael Heisley earlier this year. NBA owners unanimously approved the sale to the communications magnate last Thursday and will ensure that the Grizzlies will stay in Memphis.
St. Jude celebrated its 14th annual Survivors Day conference with the people who founded the cures and the ones who were saved by them. St. Jude brought in a panel of medical experts and cancer researchers and a few childhood survivors to kick off the event. One of the survivors had this to say about the coming back to St. Jude.
I know I was telling somebody the other day, I said, just the fact that I get to come back here, and if somebody had told me, 50 years ago that I would be back here on the stage, talking about being a survivor, it seemed like something that was at that time would probably not happen, it'd be impossible. And to actually be able to do that and to know that my dreams and all have, actually I've been able to live them. And it's because, Danny Thomas fulfilled his dream to make sure that St. Jude got built and made it, gave hope to families when seemed no hope existed.
The event included a live webcast of the conference where people could send questions in via Twitter.
When we come back, a local Memphis woman goes missing, and days later, police are led to her body by her own husband. Stay with us.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are the #1 killer of children 1 through 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. That single ember can ignite and destroy your home or even your community. You can't control where that ember will land, only what happens when it does. Get Fire Adapted now at fireadapted.org.
Remembering Karen was the theme at the vigil for the murdered mother of two. Family, friends, and an entire community came out to celebrate the life of Karen Thomas. Her body was found last week in the Loosahachie River. Her husband, Terrence Thomas, now faces charges in her death. At Northside High School, purple ribbons were tied around candles with Karen's picture.
I just miss her. I want her back. It'll never be the same again. I'll never see her again.
The vigil was scheduled to raise money to contribute to search efforts. After Karen's body was discovered, family members decided to use the vigil to celebrate her life.
Turn on a television and you might find action from the WNBA. You might find college softball or even women's soccer. This wasn't the way things always were. Grant Milner has more on this story.
Title IX is a hot topic this year because 2012 marks the 40th anniversary of the bill. The bill was passed in 1972 to ensure that no person would be excluded educationally or athletically because of their sex. Today, there are 9 women's sports teams at the University of Memphis. Lynn Parks, Associate Athletic Director at the U of M, believes athletics have changed for the better with Title IX.
Studies have proven that young girls and young men both that grow up in sport are more self-assured. They end up generally progress farther in their careers.
The success of women in sports at the U of M has been fantastic. 2 former basketball players, LaTanya Johnson and Tamika Whitmore, have gone on to play in the WNBA. The women's soccer team has won 5 straight Conference USA championships, and the dance team has won back-to-back national titles. Even the women's golf team now hosts a tournament in Memphis that is sponsored by FedEx. Title IX was implemented in 1972, making events like this, the FedEx Memphis Women's Intercollegiate, possible. Women in college sports have increased by 450% since the bill was passed, making this year's 40th anniversary even more special. Success on the field is great, but being prepared for the rest of life's journey is even better. Having the opportunity to create new teams like softball gives women more chances to compete, but even better opportunities to learn. In the University District, I'm Grant Milner, Insight News.
An arrest has been made in the drive-by shooting that occurred at the South East Memphis nightclub last week. 19-year-old Darius Robinson has been arrested for the killing of Derek Lane and Cameron Merritt. According to police, the victims were leaving Level 2 nightclub when a car pulled up and the gunman inside the vehicle started shooting. Now, in addition to the gunman, witnesses said that 3 others were in the car. One of the victims was pronounced dead on the scene. The 2 others were taken to the regional medical center, and one of them died upon arrival. The last victim remains in critical condition. MPD has yet to determine why the shooting occurred. Students are continuing to make the strive to bring Fashion World to the U of M campus with the 44th annual BSA Fashion Show. The Black Student Association will host the show this Sunday at 7 p.m. and will be held in the ballroom, which is located at the University Center. Tickets will start at $10 per person and $8 per BSA member. When we come back, a race continues for a cure. Stay with us.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are the #1 killer of children 1 through 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. That single ember can ignite and destroy your home or even your community. You can't control where that ember will land, only what happens when it does. Get Fire Adapted now at fireadapted.org.
There's nothing like a good cause, good music, good food, and good people. Happy Feet flooded the streets of the shops of Saddle Creek at Germantown this past weekend. People gathered for the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. Participants and volunteers showed their true colors by wearing pink in honor of the breast cancer event as they made the 5K run walk. Quava, the moving and grooving clown, says she's been coming to the race for years.
I have 2 sisters that have faced breast cancer, and so they're both survivors, and I come out in support of them, and I have family and everyone. I have friends that have battled it and have become survivors as well.
One survivor who showed up for the first time says she was impressed with how much support the cause has.
Cancer is doing now, it's came a long way, and I'm very blessed for this event.
If you take a look at the Susan G. Komen Memphis website, you will find coming up events and ways to donate.
November 5th through the 11th is Downtown Dining Week, where 31 restaurants participate in providing delicious food for a reasonable price. Guests can choose to get 1 3-course meal or 2 dinners for $20.12. Restaurants include Zita Bina, Blue, and the Trolley Shop, to name a few. Menus can be found at downtowndiningweek.com, and reservations are highly recommended.
That's it for Insight News.
Thank you for joining us. Have a great day.
So, what do you think about Quava, the movement? Coming up, find out why some voters are raising an eyebrow at a voting machine company's possible link to one presidential candidate.
Plus, the University of Memphis helps spread awareness about domestic abuse. Stay tuned, you're watching Insight News.
Good morning, Memphis, and welcome to Insight News. I'm Joshua Bolden.
And I'm BreAnna Boyd. Thanks for joining us.
Are you a smoker? Do you think there's no way you can put down the pack? If so, get ready to mark your calendars. There's a chance to test your theory. The American Cancer Society is marking November 15th as the Great American Smokeout. This means, for one day only, smokers are asked to make plans to put down the cigarettes and possibly find a way to quit for good. Chris Whitten is a smoker and says he has tried to quit several times. He is the managing editor of the Daily Hillsman. Whitten says
you don't usually smoke by yourself
the stress of his job is one
unless
reason.
it's just a stress reliever. But a lot of the times, I find myself in the newsroom, like, hey, I need a break. Come on down, let's go smoke a cigarette together.
Whitten feels the Smokeout Day is a good effort to try to get people to quit smoking. His biggest supporters in his effort to quit are his friends, family, and co-workers. For more information on the Smokeout Day or for tips on how to quit smoking, visit American Cancer Society's website. A Texas-based company machine allegedly has ties to presidential candidate Mitt Romney. Hart InterCivic provides election services for up to 254 counties in Texas while serving counties in Colorado, Oklahoma, Hawaii, and Ohio. Some of these states are battleground states in the 2012 election. Speculation of Romney and the company's relationship came about in September when an Ohio-based website reported that one of the key investors to the company is Hart InterCivic Group Capital. The director of the investment firm is a former employee of Bain Capital, co-founded by Romney in 1984. Recently in the Lousathatchee River. Insight reporter Sheila Guerrero covered the vigil.
Family, friends, and an entire community are remembering the life of Karen Thomas. Thomas's body was found yesterday on the banks of the Lousathatchee River. Her husband, Terrence Thomas, now faces murder charges in her death. At Northside High School, purple ribbons were tied around candles with Karen's picture. But while tears were shed, loved ones also talked about her sense of humor. They say the loving mother of two will be missed.
She's a sweet, caring, wonderful. She's just a sweet person. I don't even know why they want to hurt her. It don't make no sense. And I just can't really grab reality with this right now. It's like it's never happened, but I know it's happened.
I want them to remember that sense of humor that she had. That was a overwhelming sense of humor that no one could compare to.
The vigil was scheduled days ago to raise money to help contribute to the search efforts. After Karen's body was discovered yesterday, her family members decided to use the vigil to celebrate her life.
And this just goes to show how much of a good person she was. This is your proof right here.
I just miss her. I want her back. It'll never be the same again. I never will see her again.
In North Memphis, Sheila Guerrero, Insight News.
The troubling economy has police departments seeing an increase in domestic violence, reports the Police Executive Research Forum. The University of Memphis is doing what it can to reverse that trend by making students aware of how to handle domestic violence. Insight News' Joshua Bolden has more.
1 out of every 4 women has or will experience domestic violence in her lifetime. This October is Domestic Violence Month, and the University of Memphis is doing its part to equip women with the tools they need to avoid and handle abuse. As part of domestic violence awareness, the university's adult and commuter services held a meeting with a survivor to discuss the issue. Between 600,000 and 6 million women are victims of domestic violence each year. According to a survey by the nonprofit Police Executive Research Forum, police departments across the country are encountering more occurrences of domestic violence. Elizabeth Shelley is one of those victims. She stayed married to her abuser for 20 years.
I also felt like I had done everything that I could do to make the marriage work. You know, I kept thinking every time there was an incident, I would think, well, maybe if I do this or maybe if I do that, it won't happen anymore. But I finally reached the point where there was nothing more to try.
Now, if you need assistance, you can come to the Family Safety Center located on the 6th floor of 1750 Madison Avenue. Attendees said this meeting definitely opened their eyes and they feel more knowledgeable about what they should do when they are caught in a domestic violence situation.
I learned to be more aware of what to do in relationships and to get away, just say if a relationship is abusive, and you know that the longer that you stay in an abusive relationship, the harder it is to come out of one.
Although domestic violence is on the rise, Shelley hopes through discussions like this that the abuse can be curbed. Joshua Bolden, University of Memphis, Insight News.
Coming up, there's a brand new law that can make you feel a little safer when crossing the street. That's if it works. Stay with us.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are the #1 killer of children 1 through 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. That single ember can ignite and destroy your home or even your community. You can't control where the ember will land, only what happens when it does. Get Fire Adapted now at fireadapted.org.
The city of Memphis and the arts community will have another state-of-the-art theater in a couple of years. Hattie Lou Theater, currently located at 656 Marshall Avenue, just off of Union Avenue, will soon have a new home. The building will be designed by Archomania and will be approximately 12,000 square feet.
New theater break ground in March 2013 and opened March 2014.
The main stage of the theater will seat 150 to 175 people and will be able to change formation from one play to the next. The Black Box Theater will seat 65 and the lobby will seat 110 guests at a round banquet table. The outdoor courtyard will be able to accommodate up to 80 people. The theater's backstage will have dressing rooms, showers, and a green room. There will also be an open office space, a multi-use room, a rehearsal space for actors. If you or your organization or your family wish to support the development of the new theater, visit hattielou.org to find out how.
A group of store owners in a Memphis neighborhood are forced to move elsewhere to keep from losing their businesses. The Whatever Head shop, located on the corner of Highland and Southern, is one of a few stores that is being forced to move or go out of business due to the Highland Road development. The store has been at this location for over 40 years and has earned letters of appreciation for being a strong contributor to the community. The owner has tried to renew these tees but didn't have any track because the whole development will be tonight by a different company that plans to replace these buildings with new ones. Unlike other stores on Highland, this store will be able to relocate instead of shut down for good. A new law may have riders to feel safer at crosswalks. The City Council passed a law in September for drivers to slow down and come to a complete stop when driving towards a crosswalk when pedestrians are crossing. The ride will only apply to crosswalks that are not at stoplights. Councilwoman Lee Harris also proposed the order after personal experience with motorists being inconsiderate to walkers. Memphis is number 7 on the top 10 list for dangerous pedestrian safety, according to Transportation for America. Some students feel differently about the ordinance.
I think it's good in theory, but I don't think it would necessarily work. I think it would be hard to enforce without someone actually being there to make sure that those motorists actually follow that law.
Drivers who are caught not following the new law will pay a $50 fine.
When we come back, find out why a world-renowned cyclist lost it all.
And more news on the Apple's iPad mini. Stay tuned.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are the #1 killer of children 1 through 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. That single ember can ignite and destroy your home or even your community. You can't control where that ember will land, only what happens when it does. Get Fire Adapted now at fireadapted.org.
Cycling's most recognizable figure has been cast into the darkest of shadows. Lance Armstrong, winner of 7 Tour de France titles, was stripped of his wins in the prestigious race and is banned from cycling for life. This is in light of the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency providing evidence of Armstrong using performance-enhancing drugs during the course of his 7 Tour wins. Armstrong has denied the charges against him. Armstrong has long been a figure of success and victory over other cyclists and the cancer that really ended life in 1996. Apple has introduced its newest member, the iPad mini. It is Apple's first tablet and has been creating quite a stir against its competitors. The new iPad mini features a 7.9-inch screen, a 10 battery life, 2 built-in cameras with FaceTime compatibilities, still assistance, and more. The price starts at $329, which is significantly higher than the Samsung Galaxy or Kindle Fire. Apple is confident that the price difference would not affect the sales.
From the very beginning. That's it for Insight News.
Thanks for joining us. See you next time. What do you think about the iPad mini?
It's ridiculous.
You think so?
It's no reason.